Are you tired of the continual river of lies, distortions, and disinformation that pollute our communications today? Well, I am. Politicians, corporate spokespersons, and social media influencers twist the facts to gain power over us as the population. I propose today that we hear some old, truthful words which have new warnings for us now. The Book of Proverbs in the Hebrew Testament offers distilled wisdom about practical matters. Being 3,000 years old and from an ancient civilization, some ideas are pretty outdated for us today. But many seem to shout with courage about the ethical principles that are far more important than polls, think tanks, slogans, and tweets. And since the United States is only 250 years old, it would be good to pay attention to something that has been proven true across the centuries and across cultures, nations, and societies. Like the nations of old, America needs leaders who are honest, just, protect the rights of everyone to be really a great nation. Considering the actions and words of politicians across the land, I propose that all elected officials have a large copy of the following proverbs hung in their office. Listen to the proverbs politicians should heed. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. If a ruler listens to falsehood, all his officials will be wicked. And here's a warning. The wicked accept a concealed bribe to pervert the ways of justice. That sounds interesting, doesn't it? And here's something that's a benefit of those proverbs. By justice, a king gives stability to the land. And then there's something that all must pay attention to. Those who oppress the poor insult their maker, but those who are kind to the needy honor him. And then an important word for all of us, and especially those in power. Speak out for those who cannot speak, for the rights of all the destitute. Speak out, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and the needy. These proverbs, I propose, need to be hung on the wall of every politician's office. How important is this today? Robert Jones, the president of the Public Religion Research Institute, offered this observation. During the opening days of his first term, Trump achieved something remarkable, according to the New York Times. He said something untrue in public every day for the first 40 days of his presidency. His spokesman called these alternative facts to try and justify his insistence, despite clear evidence to the contrary, that things were different than what he was saying. By the time he was finally leaving office 4 years later, the Washington Post had logged 30,573 times that President Trump uttered false or misleading claims. His lies, both big and small, have been corrosive to the foundations of civil society and democracy, which depend on a shared sense of reality. But the events of the first days of 2026 also show they can be deadly. These lies are literally killing us. That is Robert Jones, president of the Public Religion Institute, speaking. We could expand this idea by looking at the impact that foreign governments, especially Russia and China, have worked to create lies that undermine our nation. That has been well documented in the past decade. A report following the 2024 elections quote, finds that foreign governments managed to spread at least 160 false narratives in the United States via false social media, with Russia leading the purveying of these lies. These were repeated many thousands of times by different channels, all echoing the same falsehoods. The purpose was that these narratives divide our nation, focusing on misleading the public and destroying credibility. Perhaps you're like me, asking, how can I respond when lies, propaganda, and misinformation just come constantly across my news feed? Well, the first idea is to take a breath to calm our reactions. These algorithms are designed to provoke us, so we must outsmart them by thinking before we act. We must let our emotions settle so our reasoning mind can start to work. Second, we must do some research. The amount of false information online is increasing dramatically. So do some fact-checking with solid sources of information such as FactCheck, Snopes, or Politifact. Those online sources are free and available for everyone with just a click of the button. We can also open the balanced news sources to find out more about the issue. There's no excuse for not having the best information in our cyber society today. I would suggest a third action, and that is do something helpful. Amplify the trusted, proven sources that helped you understand the issue, or offer a concise correction with the facts that you found. It just takes a few sentences or two to expose some of these lies as completely false. We can add to this by joining with others who are responding to these issues to gain the power of collective opinions. And finally, we can speak out. This is not a time for silence in our society or for giving up with a shrug that someone else might do it. It's time to support the acquaintances you have who are also willing to act. It's time to open a gentle conversation with someone who has a differing opinion so that you can hear what they share and be willing to offer your ideas also. It's time to send an email or make a phone call to a politician. It's time to give money to an organization who is working to fight for justice. Pope Leo XIV, the current pontiff and an American-born leader, spoke out against the lies prevalent when he recently wrote, "Today, the meaning of words is ever more fluid, and the concepts they represent are increasingly ambiguous. With contortions of semantic ambiguity, language is becoming more and more a weapon with which to deceive or to strike and offend opponents. We need words once again to express distinct and clear realities unequivocally. Only in this way can authentic dialogue resume without misunderstanding. This should happen in our homes and public spaces, in politics, in media, and in the social media." I agree with many that we are witnessing a deliberate effort to confuse, mislead, and double talk to gain control of our nation. This is not normal political speech and the give and take of democracy. This is a multi-pronged, coordinated assault on the Constitution, equality, and freedom so that a minority can control all of us. One of the Proverbs I quoted a few moments ago gives an idea of what truthfulness can do for a nation. The proverb says, "By justice a king gives stability to the land." The warning is clear. Injustice and lies produce instability. The chaos we're seeing now in America and really around the world is an early tremor of the potential for a catastrophic shaking which decimates the values that we have spent 250 years in America to build. We can do more than just hang a copy of Proverbs in the offices of politicians. Everyone can do something in this pivotal time. And now is the time when the truth of Proverbs must move from the ancient manuscripts of Israel to our nation and our actions today.